Newsday Tuesday. I'm your host, Go Room, the Room Show podcast, news updates with Len Besthoff. How you doing, my friend?
Still doing the coffee, but making it happen. How about you?
I didn't get my coffee yet, but I will after this. I'm drinking some tea right now.
There you go. There you go. It's a Tuesday news day, and we got to get cooking today. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see some birds coming on my feet or behind me. I don't know. They're a little bit shy, but we'll see. There's some grape jelly in there. That's an Oriole feeder, if you can see it in the background. It's sort of orange. You got to make them that color to actually attract them. And then there's oranges on there, and then there's a small container of grape jelly, which the Orioles love. Other birds do too, like finches, catbirds, stuff like that. Even woodpeckers occasionally. But we'll see. We'll see if we get anything. I would
No
say
hawks
it's
or
low
eagles?
probability. What's that?
No hawks or eagles?
Hopefully not, because if they're coming in to kill whatever's on that feeder. We have had that. We had about 2-3 years ago. We had a mourning dove that got killed out here by. We're pretty sure it was a hawk. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Otherwise, we'll be the lead story going viral here. Maybe you're hoping that doesn't happen.
Connecticut has a lot of hawks.
Yeah, I mean that's why we got the University of Hartford Hawks. There are a ton out here. There are a ton, and if you like birding, Connecticut is definitely a good state to go to. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. So lots of news. You want to do the fun stuff first?
Yeah, let's do the fun stuff first because the news can be a bit of a downer sometimes. There's just so much right now.
All right. So my food dish of the week is fish. Any type of fried fish with some tartar sauce and any type of salad.
Yeah, it is that season. It is. I'm trying to think the last seafood. I had some really good seafood recently. Oh, I know what it was. It was tuna steak. I had a tuna steak. It
Hmm.
was not fried. It was broiled, and it was ridiculous. You get those thick tuna steaks. They're just out of this world. Um, so I'm with you. I'm with you.
Tuna steak.
For my food, though, it wasn't the tuna steak. That was 2 weeks ago. I can't, we try to keep this show fresh, Rome. So in the last week, Mrs. B has been cooking up everything zucchini because I'm sure if you have a garden or you know people that do, they're probably trying to give you their zucchini. They are popping like crazy right now. And right now, I sort of sound like Forrest Gump. Remember when he could cook all the different shrimp? Be like
Yeah.
shrimp Newburgh, shrimp scampi, shrimp fra diavolo, whatever. We're the same way with the zucchini. So it's zucchini bake, zucchini bread, grilled zucchini, because we got so much of it coming up. We have neighbors right behind us here. We just gave them two big honking zucchinis yesterday, and we got 4 or 5 on the bush right now. So it is zucchini season here at my house. That's
Those
our food right now.
they grow a lot too. What's growing?
Mm, they are as tall as my wife. And she's not short, so not tall, but she's not short. Medium, but I mean like 5.5 feet. They're they're sizable, and we put them in a good spot in the garden, so they are cooking.
Nice. That's a
Yeah,
healthy one.
yeah. You can be healthy with it. Even with the zucchini bread, she'll like switch out the butter, and there's like a trick. You can put applesauce in there instead, and it works the same. Close.
Nice. So
Hmm.
my TV show of the week is I've been watching Korean like romance drama shows.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, Rome, that's different.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's like a workspace, like romance drama. No
Hmm.
massive murderings, no crazy graphics. It's pretty clean, but it's very interesting. It's called Marry My Husband on Prime.
I give you credit because when you watch a lot of these foreign programs, there's different conventions on how they do things, and so it's definitely an experience. My experimentation with that is pretty much, English, excuse me, TV or Australian maybe. But I haven't ventured into South Korean TV. That I give you credit for that one, Earl. That's how did you even find that?
Beyonce.
I can't. I will tell you, I'm going down a strange path, TV wise. Somewhat predictable, but somewhat not. So, you may know that all the training camps have begun for football, and so the Giants, my team, are putting out this thing called Giants Life. Excuse me, and it's all about the preseason now, which starts officially in 2 days. 2 days, but the rookies and some of the veterans, the quarterbacks, they're already there, and it's quite a story because they're reconfiguring the Giants' training facility in New Jersey. So they're doing the training camp all the way out in West Virginia, at a place I used to go to. Not, I mean, it's $1,000 a night, but as a reporter, I used to cover stories. They would host conferences or things at Greenbrier. We'd be doing stories about the big renovations they were doing because that was in our viewing area out in Western Virginia. So anyway, they're doing this show about the preseason, and it's 4 episodes have been dropped. I've watched 3. It's really good. But if you're not a Giants fan, you'll just probably make fun of the Giants. But you might like that.
I gotta check it out. I like the Giants.
The Giants go big blue.
So we did food dish, entertainment, now sports.
Sports for me is essentially I went to the Adirondacks last weekend, and it's one of the secrets because here in Connecticut we generally go to Vermont or New Hampshire, but if you just jog a little bit to the west, it's about the same amount of time. You can go to the Adirondacks in New York State, and it's a little bit more scruffy, I would say, than New England in that you don't have all these bed and breakfasts and fancy restaurants. There's certainly some, but not to the level you'll get in northern New England. And I was out there doing all kinds of hiking and stuff like that, golfing. And so it was a mixed bag of sporting events that I did last weekend in the Adirondacks. Did a 3-day weekend. It was great.
For me, I just have one thing about sports. LeBron James, I'm sure you've seen this. He signs a 2-year deal with the 76ers at age 40.
That has been pretty fascinating. I know that he was done with the Lakers, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the Lakers. But looking at Philly in the Atlantic Division in the NBA, that's definitely going to make the competition a little bit spicier this fall in October. And I know that LeBron James was flirting with the Knicks, or at least his agent was trying to get the Knicks interested. And I guess the Knicks really weren't interested. And a lot of the fans, I caught a lot of the blowback both on social media and then my favorite sports radio station, WFAN. They were talking about how, no thanks, LeBron, we're good. The Knicks wanted him like 10 years ago, and he was, back then the Knicks were a dumpster fire, and he didn't want to touch the Knicks. And now the Knicks are like, oh yeah, we won the championship, and now you want to come and, as they say in politics, get in front of the parade. And
It's
so,
LeBron, though.
yeah, he's 40 something. He's still dominant, but the Knicks were just like, you know what? We're good. We'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Right. I think they went and got I think they went and got Andre Drummond instead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I haven't stayed up with it that closely, but I know that it's the arms race right now. It's that time of the season in the NBA where everybody's, reloading, getting ready for the next season. It would be absolutely incredible for the Knicks to go back to back, but let's not get crazy here. It took them 50 years to win one, so we'll see.
It's a long time.
Hmm. I was a little boy. I remember it. I remember it because I grew up in the New York area. Grew up in North Jersey. I can still tell you the starting five from the Knicks in the 70s. I'm not going to do it here, but I could.
That'll be a next episode.
You know what? If you want to do that, I'll do it. You just drop it on me and say, "Tell me the Knicks roster from 1970." I can do it.
All
I
right,
can do it.
that's the challenge.
But I guess we got to get to the news. It's a Newsday Tuesday here, and the newsroom is hearkening for me. They want my blood. No, they don't want my blood. They want me. They want me to get in the newsroom. So let's do some news. And I'm going to start off with a sad one here. A 4-year-old boy died yesterday after falling from a 10th floor apartment window in Stamford. Actually, this was Sunday this happened. According to Stamford police, they said a patrol supervisor was flagged down by a group of women on Prospect Street early in the evening on Sunday. Woman reported a child had fallen from an apartment window. When they arrived, they determined that the 4-year-old had fallen through a window screen on this 10th floor apartment, and unfortunately, the child was pronounced dead at the scene. Probably more to come on that one. Horrible. In immigration news, this is one that definitely sparks some curiosity. A former NFL player has been deported. Um, he was a former Indianapolis Colts linebacker. He was the first player ever to play in the NFL from Kenya. Um, he was deported back in June. The agency said in a statement, sometimes, these pieces of information are a little bit delayed in getting out. What the feds say is that this former NFL player overstayed his visa and, more importantly, had a history of arrests. Again, according to the federal government, Daniel Ogama Adungo, 37 years old, was removed from the country June 20th by ICE. The agency said he, again, overstayed the visa and had a history of arrests. Um, he overstayed a visa from 2016, the year after his NFL career ended. Immigration judge ordered his removal in late March. He was also a former rugby player. The Colts signed him in 2013. The Indianapolis Star, which is a big newspaper out in Indiana, said that he had a number of run-ins with the law, however, and that probably had something to do with this. He may have had some mental issues too, according to the Star. It had to do with CTE, which is the concussion related illness that a lot of football and rugby players have. So that's what happened in that situation. I'm going to end with something a little bit more cheerful, though.
Okay.
So, Rome, you driven I-84 through Waterbury?
Not recently, but I have.
Okay, but you're a Connecticut guy.
Yeah.
So, what do you know is the biggest landmark of Waterbury, or one of the biggest ones?
hmm
What would it be as you're driving through Waterbury on 84?
Is that by like the mall and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Going towards that way?
yeah.
Um, the Holy Land.
Bam! You got it. You got it. And so NBC Connecticut, my colleague Melissa Cooney did a great story yesterday with photographer Jose Gomez. They went up to Holy Land because there are changes up there. This is fascinating to me. Um, you see the giant cross overlooking 84, I-84 when you're driving through Waterbury. You're like, what the heck is that? Well, what it is something called Holy Land. People in Connecticut know what it is. It used to be a Bible theme park. It's been mostly unattended since it was closed in the 1980s. It was actually opened in the 1950s. And since it closed in the 80s, it's been mostly unattended except for Easter Mass and some other events. Now there's a big change that we're about to see, and volunteers have been doing this work at Holy Land. They're making it, check this, into a Stations of the Cross trail. And anyone will be welcome to walk this winding trail. and you can enjoy the history of the landmark, or just go up there and pray if that's, what works for you. But fascinating that after all these years, something is happening up there. And I've never walked up there. If they're restoring it so it's safe to walk and there's something to do, I'm in.
I gotta check it out. I've never been there.
Yeah, yeah. So, and kudos to the volunteers for trying to set something like that up. That's great. We need stuff to do in Connecticut. It's a great state, but there's always, events you want to check out, and the
Yeah,
more the merrier. And then we can talk about them on your program.
yeah, definitely. I gotta check it out.
All right, Rome. Well, that's what I got. I got a run for Newsday Tuesday here. So, yeah, crazy day coming up. Might be in
Yeah,
court, working on a long-term project, and then if breaking news happens, I'll be thrown in on that. So we will see you
busy day.
next week. Yeah,
All right.
looking
See you
forward.
next week.
All right, take care, Rome.
Take care.